Father Dennis，好開心喺呢度見到你。
Hello。
我介紹我今日嘅拍檔俾你認識啊，佢係 Anthony。Anthony 佢係Father Dennis 喺呢度教堂嘅主持人。
Nice to meet.
Hello, Father Dennis.
You're welcome.
Father Dennis，我哋睇到呢個教堂雖然係細啊，但係咧就好多呢啲畫像喺度啊。咁你可唔可以介紹下呢一個東正教堂俾我哋認識啊
？Thank you for your question. The Orthodox Church is quite different from other church or Christian church denominations. It's not far from Catholics, much far from Protestant churches. And I would say maybe if we speak about difference between all of them, main difference are in our theology, in our dogmas, in our vision of God, understanding of God. And another quite important question, it is anthropology, view on the human being in the world, sense of his life and meaning of his life, strategy of his life. It's different from other Christian denominations. I would say we put much more attention to spiritual life than to social life. Yeah.
咁 Father Dennis， 我想問下喺香港咧有幾多間呢啲 Orthodox Church 咧
？There are two Orthodox churches in Hong Kong now. First one was established by Russian in 1934 with a period of interruption since 1970 till beginning of millennium. And another one established by Greek Constantinople Patriarchate in 1997. But we pretend to be first here since 1934 and continue ministry of First Parish, which was established by Russian immigrants who came from Shanghai and Beijing and Harbin in the 30s.
咁我又想問下點解會揀咗嚟香港嘅咧
？So main reason to come to Hong Kong was to minister to Orthodox people who live here, to revive the activity of Orthodox parish here, which was interrupted. So it's quite natural, understandable care about Russian people who are living here, Ukrainian people, Eastern Europeans, but because Orthodoxy is not national faith, not national religion, we are not limited by nationality, ethnicity, open for everyone. So I think much more important goal is ministry to Chinese Orthodox Church, and we always look at Hong Kong as a bridge which can connect mainland China and the rest of the world. Orthodox Church in China needs support for its restoration, for its renovation, and it cannot be restored without help from outside. So I think Hong Kong it's a good place and a safe bridge for this mission.
Father Dennis 你可唔可以咧介紹下？因為我哋睇到咧呢度好多畫像，有一啲係有中文甚至睇到有啲中國嘅聖人咁可唔可以介紹下？
We are in quite small, spacious house. It's house church, but it's designed according to its tradition, more or less traditional way, which you can allow to us. It is a iconostasis screen, which quite typical one row iconostasis screen with icons of our Lord Jesus Christ and Mother of God, and three doors, royal doors in the middle, and doors on the sides. You can see some inscriptions in Chinese on icons, because we are here not for Russian only, but also for local people. So we feel that we have to be localized, and church should be own church for Hong Kong people. So we use Chinese. In inscription of icons, in design, you can see this iconostasis screen slightly in Chinese style. And also we use Chinese language in our services, as well as English and as well as Slavonic. Mostly we use 3 languages. So on the top of this row you can see icon of major feasts. We have everyday memory of saints or events of the church life through its 2000 years history. But here major feasts, starting from the beginning of year, Nativity of Mother of God, and then founding of the Holy Cross, entrance of Mother of God into the temple, nativity, baptism, Annunciation, entrance to Jerusalem, Ascension, Day of Pentecost, Transfiguration, and Dormition of Most Holy Theotokos. It's major feasts. And also you can see various corners in the church with icons which dedicated to different saints. For example, here in this corner, this silver-plated icon of Apostles Saints Peter and Paul, who are patrons of our church. And it's interesting icon. It belongs to the church since its establishing in 1934. And after the break of church activity in 70, it was moved to Melbourne, to Australia. And when we reopened here, parish members of church in Melbourne returned this icon back to us. Also, you can see here icon of John the Baptist, box with relics of saints, icon of Apostle Thomas, and various icons came from different places. For example, that one icon of St. Apostle Thomas came from London, and it's painted by a Chinese lady who is quite prominent translator and icon painter and lives in London, but she's from Hong Kong. This icon from St. Petersburg, this icon of St. Spiridon from Mount Athos from Greece, this icon of Elder Sophotina is from Russia. So we collect icons from different parts of the world, so we feel ourselves not only Russian church, not only church in Hong Kong, but of course as a church we are global and related to the whole world. It is a place of choir here sings, readers reads, and this corner mostly dedicated to saints related to China. Because history of Orthodox Church in China counts over 300 years and has its own saints. For example, first saint, Chinese priest Saint Mitrofan, who martyred during the Boxer Rebellion in Beijing in the beginning of 20th century, and this icon of 222 Chinese martyrs who suffered during that time. This icon of very prominent saint who lives until beginning of 60s, and part of his life he was a bishop in Shanghai. Famous Russian bishop of Shanghai and San Francisco, who also visited Hong Kong in 50s and passed away and glorified in the United States, in California. And this icon of Saint Innocentia of Irkutsk, who was first bishop ordained to be bishop for China and came from Russia, but never entered into the China because of some collisions. But he was blessed to be first bishop for China. We also venerate him very much. And I would like to say a few words about this icon. It's the icon of Our Lady of Hong Kong. Yeah, it's only unique piece of icon painting, one on the world only, especially painted for Hong Kong. And this iconography, this style of icon painting related to Hong Kong. You can see Bauhinia here, Bauhinia on the clothes of Mother of God. Yeah, and you can see peony as a traditional flower of China, and Chinese sitting, Chinese throne. Yeah, it's an inscription.
香港上帝之母.
Exactly. Yeah. That, generally speaking, that's our special features in our church here.
嗰張又喺邊度嚟?
Here you can see quite special icon, which we call epitaphion, which describes burial of Jesus Christ after his crucifixion. We use it once per year in Great Friday.
咁Father Dennis 啊，想問下嚟呢間教堂嘅信徒咧，通常係啲咩人會過嚟嘅咧？
Generally, I would say we do not put attention to nationality of our parish members, because church it's not about nationality; it's about overcoming of cultural and national borders. So we use English, Chinese, and Slavonic in our services. But I would say, generally speaking, maybe third to half of our parish members are local people, and I like it very much. And my dream is to have 100% of local people here. But generally, we don't put any attention to the nationality. It's not a question, it's not a problem for us.
咦啊 Anthony 真係估唔到啊嚇，有差唔多一半係本地人嚟呢個東正教堂。Father Dennis 啊，可唔可以講下咧？其實俄羅斯文化係有幾大程度係受東正教嘅影響
？I would say that Orthodox faith was essential for Russia as a country because it was formed as a state with strong influence of Orthodox faith. It was also very important for formation of the culture. Just let me give an example. Russian system of writing, Russian alphabet, designed by Orthodox monks and priests, and it's appeared as a written language because of efforts of Orthodox Church. So and through the whole history of Russia, church life, church belief influenced a lot to the Russian culture, to the Russian literature, to the Russian visual arts, to all the sphere of life. But modern Russia, contemporary Russia, it's a civil country. There is no Christian country in the world now. But still, if you wish to understand roots of culture, even in contemporary Russia, if you need deep understanding, you cannot get it without knowledge of the Orthodox Church and Orthodox belief and principle of life and formation of the human being life. I would say so.
咁啊 ，Father Dennis， 你都嚟咗香港咁耐啦，介唔介意講下你喺香港嘅生活啦，同埋即係你覺得香港係有啲咩見解咧
？Thank you for the question. I came to Hong Kong 17 years ago. That means that a third of my life I spent here in Hong Kong and enjoyed very much because it gave to me unique experience, I would say, because the environment here is quite unique. I've been in many places on the world, and Hong Kong is one of unique places, which gives to us opportunity to dialogue to each other, to respect of each other, to understanding and to ability to listen of other people. So it's very, very important. My kids grew up here, so I would say that good city for life. Of course, being here 17 years already, I know weak points and strong points of Hong Kong, but I very hope that it has future and development. It's an important question. It's time to think what will be development of Hong Kong in terms of development of the world. If Hong Kong will continue to keep its unique place in the world, if it will be the sample of good development for other big cities or even for countries, I believe so. Still, people of Hong Kong has this ability, probably because of the knowledge of other cultures and because of long historical habit to establish connections between different various culture.
Father Dennis， 今日真係好多謝你同我哋分享咗咁多有關俄羅斯啊同埋東正教好多謝你。
Thank you for your coming. Thank you for your interest. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
想睇更多精彩嘅內容，快啲下載有線 OTT App 啦！